Mike, thank you so much for taking the time
Sure.
to sit down with me. A few months ago, I was incredibly fortunate to be elected by the students at our USF St. Petersburg campus to serve as the governor of our student government. One of the big things I thought about when I was running for the position was the opportunities that exist that are so unique here in Pinellas County and Tampa Bay to get students connected
Sure.
with the community, which can provide so many benefits to give back to the community, provide doorways and access points for internship and job opportunities and things like that. And I thought, what better way to talk about some of these opportunities and the great work that's being done in our community than from somebody like you who has just done tremendous work with Habitat for Humanity. I feel like every time I log in on Facebook or LinkedIn, I see a new update about something really exciting that's going on.
Yeah, well, we got a lot of stuff going on, and so congratulations on being elected to the governor role at USF St. Pete, and it's been great to just kind of see the work that you've been doing to really just engage the campus and get people more involved in the community. So that's really encouraging.
Well, thank you. Yeah. I guess if you wouldn't mind, could you sort of give us an overview about what Habitat for Humanity of Pinellas and West Pasco counties is doing, currently? And I know there's some exciting news that just came out about a new partnership with the city of St. Petersburg.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of misconceptions about Habitat. There's this misconception that we build homes and give them away to the community, and that couldn't be further from the truth. So the families we partner with are some folks that we come in contact with every day. They're people that drive school buses, or they are teacher aides in the school system. There are people that work in city government. There's folks that actually work at USF St. Pete in various departments that qualify for our program. So we partner with a population that they make too much to qualify for government assistance, but they don't make enough to qualify for a traditional home loan. So Habitat provides them this opportunity. Really, that's what we do, is we provide people opportunities to own their own home. And so through the Habitat program, folks come into the Habitat program based on their income, their ability to pay a mortgage, and their willingness to partner with us. They complete about 32 classes, so home buyer education classes. These classes are designed to help them become more self-sufficient. And in addition to the 32 classes, they complete 350 to 450 sweat equity hours. So they help build the Habitat homes. They help build their own home. So they're working alongside our volunteers and our staff to do that. And then at the end of the program, they purchase the house from Habitat. And the purchase is a zero interest loan. And so that's really what makes us different than a bank or from really any other organization out there. We offer this zero interest loan that guarantees the affordability of the home for the duration of the mortgage.
Well, and that's amazing when you think about it. I mean, home ownership is such an exciting idea, but there are just so many challenges today, with making that possible. And so when you provide that unique opportunity, not only I think to, get the family engaged and actively involved in that whole entire process, so they get to take part from start to finish.
Sure.
When you engage community members as well in that whole process, that's really cool. And I think it, brings people together, and at the end of the day, really emphasizes the importance of, home ownership as a tangible goal that can be achieved.
Yeah, I think the uniqueness of Habitat is it really does bring the entire community together. The volunteer component of helping to build homes, the engagement of the family in the process. I mean, if you or I go and buy a house, we typically work with a bank, we buy the house and then we take ownership of it. These folks are helping to actually build their home from scratch. And then the education component, to me, is really what changes behaviors and really helps folks understand the true impact of owning a home. And there's no better way to build intergenerational wealth in the United States than through home ownership. And so Habitat provides these families the opportunity to do that. And so this year alone, we'll build about 80 homes. And that's 80 families that otherwise would not have owned their own house. And so, it's a unique program, and it's one that's been very successful because we've built nearly 800 homes in our history. and we've had very few foreclosures, 6.
That's wonderful.
And so that speaks to the education, and it speaks to the engagement of our homeowners.
Well, that's amazing. Again, where you think about that long-term positive, sustainable impact that can take place. And of course, one of the things I hear from students all the time, especially students at USF St. Petersburg and USF as a whole, is, as they go on throughout their education process, typically they'll start in the dorm and stay on campus. And as they get older, and get closer to graduation, they typically will find ways to get, opportunities to move out to the local community. And of course, it's one of the biggest issues of our time is affordable housing. And I hear it all the time from students. I was just sort of wondering, specifically like talking about the new project that's going to be happening in St. Petersburg, which is really exciting. Some of those other things, how you think that is, which it is, working to little by little take a chunk at this massive challenge of creating affordable housing.
Yeah, there's I've never seen a need as great as it is right now, and it feels like people are just being more and more squished, by the housing crisis. Rent is out of control, and people just are having a hard time finding anything. What we're going to be doing in St. Petersburg, and we've been very active in St. Pete over our history. Over 50% of the homes we've built have been built in the city of St. Pete.
That's great.
But we were just actually awarded 2 projects in St. Petersburg that will be townhomes. One will be 10 to 12 townhomes, and the other one will be 44 townhomes. Both of them are just blocks away from the USF St. Pete campus. And those projects, what's great about that is we're really going to be doing a deep dive into those communities to try to recruit homeowners from St. Petersburg. We want to provide homeownership to people who live and work in our community, who want to stay in our community, because we're seeing, one of the things people are not talking about, we keep talking about the amount of people that are moving into the state. And it's an extreme number.
Oh, yeah.
What we're not talking about are all the people that are leaving the state. And so we are seeing that. I've seen that at Habitat. We've had 4 staff members that have left our organization since January who have moved out of the state because it's no longer affordable to live in the state. And so we have to find, it's imperative that we find places and find ways for people to be able to be able to afford something to live. And so we're just fortunate at Habitat. We have a great community that rallies behind our work. We have right now in the city of St. Pete, we have a wonderful mayor who rallies behind the work that we do, and he sees the importance of affordable home ownership. And so we're excited about some of the work we have coming up in the next few months, next few years.
Well, that's exciting. And like you said before, I think it's, if everybody can be on the same page, the number one challenge is making sure everyone understands the same issue.
Sure.
And that's half the battle right there. So that's really exciting. Everybody's committed to creating these partnerships and working together. It's really exciting. We share something in common of being USF alumni. So we have to do the Go Bulls always. But just sort of wondering for the students that watch this and see this, and affiliates of USF that see this. Obviously you have had a tremendously successful career since you left the University of South Florida. Knowing what you know now and your time at USF, what kind of advice or what sort of tips do you think you might give students that maybe are interested in this kind of work, or just interested in community engagement as a whole? So I'm often asked, what's my most, not proud moment, but what achievement am I most excited about? And it's actually my college diploma. I'm a first generation college grad. And so for me, going to college and finishing college was a huge achievement. And so, I'm proud of the fact that I went to USF, and I love the university and try to do as much as I can to give back. I think for current students, one of the things that I would always say is, find ways to engage, right? College flies by, and I'm always concerned when I talk to a college student who's like, I'm going to get done in 3 years, or, I'm going to work really hard to get done quicker than my 4 years. Because to me, if I look back, I wish my college experience went slower, just because it was so amazing. And I did do a victory lap, so it did take me 5 years to get out, but I have the degree, so that's the most important. But the engagement component, I think, is huge.
I was fortunate enough that I had some mentors when I was in college that encouraged me to get involved on campus,
Hmm.
but also get involved off campus. And so, I found ways to get involved on campus. I joined a fraternity. I was very involved in Greek life, which also provided some great leadership experience for me. I was president of my fraternity and that kind of thing.
Okay.
In addition to that, I found ways to get involved off campus. So
Hmm.
Big Brothers Big Sisters, the YMCA, and that kind of thing. So I think that that's extremely important. While your studies and your GPA and all that stuff's really important, I think that engagement outside of just going to class every day is key. And that's really what gives you those real life experiences. So my first job out of college was with the YMCA.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But I also worked part-time with the YMCA for 2 years while I was in college.
Oh,
And so it was a natural
That's great.
transition
yeah.
that when I was finishing school that I was able to do that.
Well, that's really nice. And like you said, I think a lot of it is a balancing act. I mean, I have to remind myself a lot of times that the only reason I'm fortunate to be in this role or have done other things at USF to have unique opportunities, a lot of times is because of the GPA and grades that
Sure.
make it possible.
Yeah.
But all the while, like you said, I think that, the world's a pretty serious place. And
Mhm.
so that unique opportunity you get in college, not only to make friends and new connections and things like that, but to
Sure.
really get involved in that community that helps support that university like USF.
For sure.
That's really a nice thing to do.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think if there's opportunities to get involved with the surrounding community, I did my time at USF in Tampa, and so the community, the university community area, at the time that I was in school was in dire need of just engagement and leadership, and so there were tons of opportunities to engage in that community. I could have probably just put my head down and stayed focused on school, which is important, but at the same time, I think getting involved is extremely important. I think for folks that are at USF St. Pete, there's an amazing opportunity to get involved with the Midtown community, Bartlett Park, as well as everything that's going on with the Tropicana Field redevelopment. I think there's an opportunity to get involved and learn about that and figure out ways that even as a college student, you can provide feedback and input into something like that.
Yeah, well, that's wonderful. And like you said, it's a direct opportunity to share feedback about what we're doing today,
Sure.
which is obviously going to impact our future. And speaking of involvement,
Mhm.
we're really excited to be working with members of your team in the creation of a campus chapter
Yeah.
for Habitat for Humanity on USF St. Pete's campus.
Sure.
And in the process of having a build day, which is going to happen next month in September
Yeah.
for USF St. Pete students. And I'm just sort of curious. I'm
Mhm.
not a builder. I learned that,
Yeah.
but when it comes beyond hammering a nail on the wall to hang up a picture, I even can't do that sometimes the right way. But do you have any tips? I'm sure you've been
Sure.
on many build sites, but for students that are interested in doing that.
Well, Sean, I'm kind of like you. They don't like me on the site, mainly because I screw stuff up. But
Yeah.
but the good thing, the nice thing about our build sites is even if you have zero experience of swinging a hammer, even if you're uncoordinated with swinging that hammer, there's opportunities for everybody on our work site, and our staff is trained to work with unskilled volunteers. And actually, there's a huge reward there for our staff because they love to work with volunteers that when they walk away, the volunteer feels like, wow, I learned something today, even if it's just hanging up a picture. So there is opportunities like that, and then there's opportunities outside of just swinging a hammer. We're always looking for folks to get involved with work, whether it's working here at our ReStore, maybe helping our staff, visit some of our families and do home visits and that kind of thing. There's tons of opportunities for folks to get involved, and so, but you can't let the power tools and that kind of thing scare you. But it's an amazing experience. The best part for me when I do work out on the site is when I get to work alongside our families, the homeowner candidates that are working on their hours. Because what's so exciting about that is, when you take a step back and see it from their perspective, eyes wide open of, they're helping to build their own home.
Oh yeah.
So I've
That's
had the
wonderful.
opportunity to hang cabinets with a family member, that, a few months down the road, they're going to be using those cabinets to, store their food and all their stuff. So it's a pretty exciting experience for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's nice. And again, for me, that's reassuring to know I might have a few opportunities. I can't mess it all up.
No, and we'll fix anything you do mess up. That's the best part. Once you walk away, we'll fix it. So if that cabinet's a little crooked, we'll get it straight again. So it's all good.
That's okay. It works out. Yeah. I was curious too. It's great. We're here at the Habitat ReStore of Clearwater. This is a really nice couch.
Isn't this nice?
If it's for sale, I might need to put it on.
It's for sale. I'm getting very comfy in it.
I know. It's pretty nice.
It's a great place actually for students to shop, because if you're you have a dorm or an apartment and you need furniture or even a little side desk or chair.
Yeah.
I mean, this place is full of stuff. So I would definitely. I wish I knew about the Habitat ReStore when I was in college. There was one by USF. There is one by USF in Tampa, but it's a great place to check out, and you never know what you'll be able to find.
There you go, and that's it, and it helps a good cause.
100% of the proceeds go back to building more homes.
That's wonderful.
So every dollar that someone spends here goes into helping to build that next house.
Yeah, so you get your comfy couch and you help somebody else get
This is a brand new couch, actually.
Oh, yeah, this is nice.
It's nice.
It's growing on me, I think. But Mike, thank you so much for taking the time. This is wonderful.
Appreciate it.
And really excited about the partnership I think that we're going to be able to create together over the next year, and really in the process connecting students with the St. Petersburg and Tampa Bay communities, and helping to create a sustained impact, I think, which isn't just going to make a difference today, but really will help make a difference for the long term.
Sure. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for everything you do.
Oh, thank you.